Alright, so I'll start this video out showing what the problems I'm having, or the questions I have more or less, for this bike before I go into the details of the progress, since some of the people that might be watching are the ones that I'm looking for help from. So, the wiring is one thing in question. This spool here, which I know that's a ground and that should be the neutral switch, and this lead underneath here, or this harness piece. Now, I know I've got these throttle bodies covered, I can move that. So, I know this harness can't go too far because the injector wire, the injector wire that's right here has to be able to reach. This throttle position sensor has to be able to reach. Pretty sure this wire here is a cam sensor. It has to be able to reach. Now, if someone would confirm for me this, whether or not this one is the cam sensor, this one with the orange, yellow, and orange green, I believe. Yeah, orange with a green stripe. Yeah, that's the cam sensor, or if this blue, yellow, and red one is, because they're the same type of connector. There's no distinguishing markings really on them, so I'm assuming the short one that's right by the injector wire, that it's tight fit, is it, and I'm pretty sure this one goes to the air box, which is over here. Pretty sure it is that connector. And on the other side, you have a 4-pin connector, which is that, which you can't see the pins. There you go. But it is, I'm assuming, like a mass airflow of some sort, maybe. I don't know. Or vacuum pressure, I really don't know. But anyways, so I don't know where this piece tucks away. I'm assuming it goes down in here along the side in this little gap here. What I'm not sure of is whether or not it being up against the side of the engine head will be too much heat. I see these holes on the frame, like there, and up here, down there, and so on. And this little hex nut looking one right there. I'm not sure if those are for like wire clips, similar to this, or not. But I know this ground probably comes down and goes in right here. And this neutral switch should be this little screw inside of here. Let me grab my light. Should be that little screw right there. Should be. Now, the shifter lever, I have to get off the old motor. This motor was replaced by the previous / current owner. And apparently I broke a piece of the clip. Or no, piece of the seal off one of these. Alright. Anyways, so the shifter's on the old motor, which I was gonna go pick up tonight, but it's pouring ass rain, so hopefully tomorrow, the next day, I'll be able to go pick up the other motor, the windscreen, and whatever other parts are over there. So I need that. The brakes, I'm curious of. The slave cylinder I have taken apart. I'm waiting on a seal to come in to rebuild it so I can bleed it system. The front brake, nice clear fluid, is bled. It works, however, I'm not so sure about this. You can pull it all the way back to the grip. Now it works, and whenever it's pulled back, there's like no rotating this thing. So it locks up good. Back's the same way, except it actually has some feel to it. So it works. Nice clear fluid in it too. I flushed the system and filled it up. I did a reverse bleed. You can see a bunch of videos on that online. So I didn't show it in any kind of video or anything. So here's the other harness. Now this harness, I'm assuming it goes inside because of these little guides here. And right here, So I'm assuming they go into those guides. This one from here goes down along the side of the motor, coil pack of course, and comes out right here. And it's just kind of tucked in there. Now this thing I just tucked in, I later saw a picture of it and it shows it like this, kind of tucked in, or like so. Something along those lines, but I've seen this kind of tucked in just into this little gap. And then this harness comes up. Now I noticed has these little slots here that this one had a zip tie in it, but nothing was zip tied to it. I'm assuming that maybe these wire harnesses are kind of held up like that and then zip tied in and just go like that, and then they feed through these loops on each side. I think all my wires are connected up front minus, you know, turn signal, low beam, high beam, running light. Same thing on the other side. Yeah. Running light, turn signal, high beam, low beam. Those are the only plugs not connected over here. I'm assuming that these will run through this little loop here once I get it all situated. But anyway, so that's where I'm at on the wiring. Back here, pretty sure that's the starter relay. This right here should be the fuel pump, I believe. I believe this is back running light, brake light, and then blinkers. Pretty sure, and of course, obviously the ground wire here just hanging. All the rest of the parts are like in boxes scattered around and so on. All the fairings are upstairs. And the only thing I didn't have, I ordered a windscreen, but the owner actually said he had one. So the deal with this bike was motor spun a bearing, he replaced the motor, and it's been sitting for a year and he didn't want to mess with it anymore. I got a new one of these on the way as well, since this has rash from it falling over. So the kickstand was replaced. He said the bike's only hit the ground once, and it was because someone tried to rotate it on the kickstand, doing like a kickstand swing. And these kickstands just aren't made to hold the weight of the whole bike. But not only that, if it's on a rough surface, kickstand's gonna grab and twist as it's not gonna just spin and pivot. So anyways, he said the kickstand broke on it and it fell over and it scuffed the fairings. It bent this clutch lever. That's why it has new clutch lever or new levers on it, and it scratched this. And he had the fairings repainted and repaired. I replaced the lever. I ordered new end weights. He replaced the stand, and like I said, the fairings were repainted and repaired. And upstairs, I ordered a new seat because he said the seat got damaged in shipping because he moved from like California to Florida and then to Mississippi. So it took, some parts were missing variously. The one of the inner fairings is missing, I ordered it. All the other plastics I should have. So the next things to do on here is one, reroute this cable how it's supposed to be, tied up out of the way, however. Then I need to put the air box back on and get the fuel tank figured out. The fuel pump may need to be replaced, he said. Said it's been sitting for a while. It had a little bit of gas left in it where they didn't drain it completely dry. And of course the fuel pump probably has some in the system anyways, in the pump. So he said it might need to be replaced. Priced them, they're like 70, 80 bucks, so not too bad. This is the fuel inlet line, I believe. These go to the intake box. This, I believe, goes down to here. And that's a vacuum line, but I don't remember if that one's the one that goes to or not. So I have this nipple, and these actually might tee together and then come down to here. That way you have one on each throttle body, but I'm not positive. Also, this line, I'm guessing this nipple here on the front comes down to the tip of this, but I'm not sure there either. So I need to confirm that as well. This line, from what I looked at, comes up on a hose, and there's a filler neck that goes here with a cap and has another little line that comes off of it and goes back to the reservoir, which is right here. So I'm not actually sure how this mounts either. I was thinking it goes somewhere. I thought one of these bolts were used, but from placing it up here, there's like no way that'll reach. So I really don't know how that goes. This piece might go right here, like so. And once that's in place, then this one right here might go up to that hole. And then I know this down here is where this rear brake reservoir mounts. This line, I'm not sure where it connects. This is a coolant line. I think that goes maybe to the bottom of this. I really don't know. I know there's a drain on one of these that just like hangs down by the bike. And there's one that gets capped off of the airbox, I think. That's like an oil drip for recirculation for like essentially what would normally have a PCV valve or something. And then this top line, I think, is the one I was talking about. This goes to that fill neck, comes off of that and comes into this top line. But I don't know where this goes. It obviously had a clamp on it, and it is definitely a coolant line because I traced it back. It comes back to this three-way block here. It's that line. You can actually see it moving in there maybe. Yeah, see it moving down there. But anyways, so yeah, that goes to that. I have to figure out where it goes. So the owner has the chain, the key, and he's waiting on the title. I haven't bought the bike yet. I went ahead and picked it up so I could start messing with it. I did a compression check on it. It shows 180 PSI on both cylinders. I did a valve clearance check, and they're all within spec. This is them. So that's the spec. This is what I measured. Rear head, front head, the numbered valve cap or valve top hats. So all that's within spec. Put the valve covers back on, put the throttle bodies back on, and I'm kind of hesitant to do too much more to it. I've already probably done way too much since I don't have the title in hand yet. But like I said, I haven't actually paid for the bike either. And he's, anyways, he paid off the bike recently. So he's waiting on the title to come in the mail. He had issues with a change of address or something. So hopefully I'll have it within a week or so because he already mailed off for it with the corrected address. And I mean, if he got that by this weekend, I could actually pretty much piece this thing together minus this clutch slave. That stupid seal is like the rarest part in the world. AF1 doesn't even have it. They gave me, they did give me the specs for it, and there's one on Amazon I ordered. Of course, it's shipping from China. I'm impatient. I found one on eBay that's local in the States. Went ahead and ordered it too. They were like $5 a piece, so I don't care. But downside is it won't be until Monday or Tuesday. So even if I got everything pieced together, I can't do anything with it until I have that. But I believe that's everything of where I'm at. Oh, and the battery is actually still good, even though it's been sitting for a year. Shocker. All right, so if anyone has any answers for my wiring question, these couple of inlets, vacuum lines, whatever, as far as where they go, this goes to intake. That's a crank breather, I believe. And I know these go to that little pipe I took off, or that little thing that this switch goes into, or this wire, I mean, either this one or that one down there, whichever one it is plugs into it. But anyways, one of those go to it, and these I took a picture of how they go back, so I'm good on that. I don't think there's any other hoses, lines, or anything like that I need to question. But yeah, so if anyone has answers for me, please help. Thanks for watching. Sorry for making the video nice and long for those that didn't need to see and hear everything.